Hello and welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. This one is team selection for game week 32. So first we'll have a look at how I got on in game week 31 as is on the screen. Then I'll show my team for game week 32 and I'll talk about what my future plans are for chips. I'll most likely be using 3 chips in the next 3 weeks. So we'll talk about that, talk about my transfers, and yeah, let's get into it. So this week was a good one. 65 points. I went from 20k to 12k. Massive week. So starting off, Raya in goal. Arsenal defence disappointing again, but to be honest, I only had single defence. A lot of people had double defence with Saliba or others, Timber maybe, but only had Raya, so it wasn't kind of the worst outcome. Then my defence did absolutely brilliantly this week. So Munoz just keeps doing what he does, attacking wise anyway. Absolute beast going forward, and he's got 2 double game weeks in a row coming up, so really glad I've got him. Livramento with 11 points. Monday night couldn't have gone better for me, so I captained Salah, as you can see. That obviously meant I didn't have Isak captain, but I had Murphy and Livramento, and both of them banged. Isak blanked, so fantastic evening for me. But yeah, Livramento with an assist and a clean sheet. Couldn't ask for more from him. And Gvardiol with a clean sheet and some bonus points as well. So the defence with, 28 points between the 3 of them. Unbelievable stuff. Obviously, as I've just mentioned, Murphy with 16 points. I was kind of close to going on wildcard a couple of weeks back. I was kind of close to going with double Newcastle defence. And I was actually at one point, I did have a draft of Gordon in it as well. That's gone really, really badly. That's gone very really bad luck for Gordon owners, because it did sound like he was going to be back for game week 31, but doesn't sound good now. Anyway, then I've got Sarr with 2 points. Slightly disappointing. I just wanted him to keep up with Eze, basically. Obviously, I've paid less money for him than for Eze. I did want Eze ideally, but Sarr was kind of the sacrifice I had to make for the rest of this draft, and the rest of this draft has done really well, so I can't be too annoyed. But yeah, if Sarr could kind of catch up with Eze over the next few weeks, that'd be brilliant. Salah captain with 2 points, so 4 for me. Not ideal, but Liverpool weren't great in that game. They haven't actually been great for a few games now, so luckily I won't be captaining him for the next couple of weeks, so I will be keeping him probably, especially as Saka doesn't look like the best kind of option to go for right now. Saka will definitely play in that second leg against Real Madrid, so whether Saka plays in between all these legs, who knows. Palmer with 1 point, I'm not sure why he didn't start. I don't kind of get what Maresca's doing really, but it is what it is. I hope he plays next week, but like I say, who knows, to be honest. Isak with 2 points, that went quite well because I didn't captain him, and loads of people did, so not that annoyed that he blanked. He got a fair amount of minutes as well, which was actually a good thing, because there was kind of an injury scare, but he got a good amount of minutes. The kind of words from Hal, we can't really trust Hal, but the words from Hal were quite positive beforehand as well, so fine with how that went. Mateta with 8 points, again, came off a little bit early, but 8 points. Can't be sniffed at. Marmoush with 2. He did all of his work last week. And then on the bench, I scored no points, basically. Savinho, I did have a benching headache. I was really struggling between Savinho, Sarr, and potentially Murphy. Kind of went with the right decision there. It wouldn't have mattered between any of them, it turns out, because Savinho didn't play. But that seventh attacker slot has been brilliant for me since wildcard. I played Savinho last week with his 9 points. Murphy this week with his 16 points, so done very, very well in them positions. Right, so that's how I got on in game week 31, 65 points up to 12k. Now let's have a look at how I'm lined up for game week 32 and what I'm thinking chips wise. Okay, so we're starting off with the goalkeepers and defenders. Now, I've got benching headaches galore this week. It's a double game week, obviously, for Newcastle and for Palace. So, in goal, I've got Raya or Martinez. Raya has Brentford at home, Martinez has Southampton away. Both fantastic fixtures. I do have a small decision where I could bench boost this week. We'll talk about that when I've put my whole team up, but as you can see, my bench is pretty good. I mean, I've got Konza with Southampton away. I've got Martinez with Southampton away. I'd have to use a transfer on Gabriel if I was going to play the bench boost. But if I'm not, then Gabriel can just sit on the bench for a week. Anyway, Munoz has Man City away, Newcastle away. It's a pretty rough double for Palace, but it's a double nonetheless. So, yeah, all of my defenders are actually playing against each other in one of the games, which is interesting. But yeah, Munoz, Man City away, Newcastle away. Livramento is a much better double for Newcastle. Man United at home, Crystal Palace at home. Two pretty good fixtures considering how Newcastle are playing at the moment. They're in great form. Man United are terrible, so that is useful. Crystal Palace didn't look that great the other day as well, but we know what Palace can do. Then Gvardiol of Crystal Palace at home. Again, this is a benching headache between him and Konza. Konza has Southampton away. Obviously a lovely fixture. The difficulty with that is that I'm pretty sure Konza didn't start in game week 31, and this game week 32 fixture is in between their two Champions League fixtures, meaning that Konza may get a rest again. Who knows? Gvardiol's just kind of a safer option, really. So that's my defence. Midfielders, again, I've got a bit of a benching headache here, although I can't really bench anyone but Savinho, to be honest. I've got Murphy with the double. Really happy I've got him now. He looks great for minutes as well, given that Gordon could be out for a little bit longer than we thought. I've got Sarr. Like I mentioned, I'm just hoping he can keep up or get close to Eze. That's all I'm asking for, really. Salah with West Ham at home. I mean, that fixture for Liverpool has been ridiculous recently. They've put 5 goals past West Ham multiple times. So I'm hoping that Salah can kind of get back on goal scoring form anyway. Palmer, Ipswich at home. I'm just hoping he starts this game. If he does start, it's a great fixture, obviously. Who knows whether he'll start? Who knows what Maresca's doing? Who knows what's wrong with Cole Palmer and Chelsea, to be honest? But I certainly won't be moving him out this week. And then Savinho on the bench, Crystal Palace at home. I like the fixture. I just can't bench him over any of those 4 mids, for obvious reasons. And then onto the forwards, we have, so you'll notice there is a triple captain kind of badge there on Isak. I'm 90% sure I'll play the triple captain on Isak this week. It was kind of always my plan. As soon as Liverpool got that double, so I was going to play my triple captain on Salah when they had one double. Then they got given back-to-back doubles, and that meant that assistant manager was best for my team and most teams. So that meant that triple captain had to wait. This seems like the best opportunity. We will get another opportunity. Obviously, next week there's another double. There will also be a double in game week 36, but we don't know who that is yet. It will be determined by the FA Cup results, which we don't know yet. Could be a City player though, which is an interesting one because Marmoush, if Haaland's out, Marmoush would be pretty nice for that. But anyway, so yeah, 90% sure I'll be using my triple captaincy on Isak this week. I'm not sure he won't get back-to-back 90s, but I think I'm fine with that. Mateta obviously has another double. Mateta's been coming off early in the last few games. However, I believe Nketiah got a red card, I think, at the weekend. So that means that he can't come on and steal minutes. Maybe Mateta just gets more minutes against City anyway. Maybe not against Newcastle. But yeah, then Marmoush with Crystal Palace at home. Marmoush is just someone I'm pretty much going to play all the time at the moment. He's playing up front, potentially on penalties for Man City, who are playing well. So yeah, as you can see, my bench is really good. Martinez with Southampton away, Savinho with Crystal Palace at home, Konza with Southampton away. If I was to use a transfer to do Gabriel to someone like Estepinian, for example, I'm pretty sure Brighton have got Leicester, maybe even at home this week. So that would be a pretty good bench boost. However, next I'm set up really well, and my whole plan when I wildcarded was to bench boost in game week 33 next week. I will have triple Palace, who double. I will have triple City, who double. I will have Raya, who doubles. I will have Martinez and Konza, who double. So my bench, Salah and Palmer don't double. Salah has Leicester at home though, I believe. So that's ridiculous. Palmer isn't so good. My plan was to always move him to Saka for that bench boost, because then Saka doubles, obviously. But I'm not so sure on that anymore. And then I've got the Newcastle guys who also don't double. They play Aston Villa. So, but next week I will have 3 free transfers. I've got 2 this week, I'll have 3 next week. So I can move on Murphy, Livramento, Gabriel, or, well, 3 of these guys anyway. It's probably going to be 3 of Gabriel, Isak, Murphy, Livramento, Palmer. 5 players. I'll move on 3 of them. One of them will have to be Gabriel because he'll be injured. The others, I'm not so sure, but it'll be for doublers. I've obviously got, so, well, in terms of teams that are doubling, obviously it's Palace, I've got triple Palace. It's City, I've got triple City. It's Arsenal. I'll be selling Gabriel, so I have 2 free Arsenal spots. And then it is Aston Villa. And I've got 2 Aston Villa players, so I have 1 free Aston Villa spot as well. So that's kind of my thinking on what those transfers will be. In terms of exact players that I'm going to buy, I'm not really sure yet. I did have a plan, like Murphy to Rodgers will most likely be an option if I can free up some funds from elsewhere. Something like that. I mean, Gabriel will probably come down to someone cheaper anyway, so the funds should be freed up there. Not 100% sure where I'll go with it, but I'll likely be rolling my transfer this week. I'm expecting bench points from Martinez, Savinho, Konza. Expecting bench points from all of them, but it is what it is. I knew this when I was wildcarding in game week 30. I knew that I'd have a strong bench in game week 32. I actually did it kind of on purpose so that I could pivot to bench boost 32 if I needed to. However, I don't think I will. Pretty sure I'll be using triple captain on Isak. That is all for this one. If you like the video, do hit like, do subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.